Hello, everybody. Good day. It is Misty Dawn from Misty Dawn Creates, and you've reached the portion of my channel where I vlog about my life. I'm currently in the car waiting across the street from my granddaughter's school because I'm picking her up today. Mom is really needing to catch up on some schoolwork, so I said I would come get her. It was extremely nice earlier today, especially when the sun was out. It was almost like 70, I guess, is what my daughter said at one time. I don't know if it was, I know it was 60, about 60 to 60 yesterday. But we're about to hit the teens again tonight and tomorrow, and we're getting a storm in on Wednesday. So I think we still have some ice on our front porch and steps. Hopefully that will finish melting. I'm going to try to move it along a little bit. Try to get that finished melting before the next snow. I don't know. You know, everybody always, oh, it's not going to melt too much. But they've said that about the last several storms, and we end up getting a foot or something. I don't complain about the snow because we need moisture. We live in a dry place. This is desert prairie, and even though we have mountains and we do have water up in those mountains, but the snow hits up there. But the rest of the state is quite dry, especially if you go to the east. It's not pretty, in my mind anyway. It's very flat and very deserty. So Colorado is really interesting. It's got a lot of different climates, microclimates in different places, a lot of different types of terrain. And it's a beautiful state, but it is extremely dry. And so, like, you'll go to other places that have got mountains, other, but it's still not as dry. Like, sometimes I think about, like, the Rockies are up north, or some of the mountains in California. Of course, they're not as majestic as these are, but we're still talking about a different humidity set of, and a different set of ecology. Anyway, there's your little lesson. So it was warmer today, but the clouds have covered the sun, and it's chilly. And when the wind does blow, it's cool. Of course, we're still in winter. I mean, it's February, and we think of March as kind of spring warm up. So, but we'll still get a lot of snow. In fact, some of our snowiest months our snowiest months usually is February and March. And we'll get maybe a good one in April. So the dogs were extremely excited to come and pick up granddaughter. And as you can tell, Mr. Motley has just got his head hung out there waiting for them to, because he always knows where the parents line up, which I'm kind of right across from where they line up, and the kids come out, and so he's got his eye. He and that kid are just inseparable. They're like, they're more like siblings, although he doesn't fight back. She's a little rough with him. When she tries to hug him, like, she kind of tries a little too hard around the neck a little bit. I'm trying to. Then she likes to mess with him a little bit, and I'm like, hey, that's not cool. Let's don't do that. Let's try to play with them this way. So I'm always coming up with fun things for them to kind of do together. They play chase really well. He sometimes participates in hide and seek, but anyhow, Mom and Sheila's in the back. Sheila, are you back there, my love? Oh, here comes the sun. Sheila. Oh, where are you? Oh, yeah, we're just stretching. I have successfully taught her how to get on the floorboard and then get out of the car, and then how to step up on the floorboard to get into the car, and then up on a seat. Her, is it right shoulder, front right shoulder? And we were supposed to go into the dang vet, and I had to cancel because of the dang snow. It was just so cold. It was the -6. So anyway, we're going back to the vet right before our trip. So it's her right shoulder, and so we got to keep her moving on that. But it would be nice, and I started her on a variety of different types of supplements. I've got a new one now that it's got some glucosamine in it, turmeric, and a variety of other things. I'm starting to wonder, have any of you guys, I don't know how much YouTube you watch, but have any of you guys watched, if you're into any kind of these, lifestyle changes of, are you keto, are you paleo, are you fit? There are so many. Now there's carnivore, there's keto carn. I don't know, there's just all these, it's just fascinating. But anyway, I learned something the other day called the sardine challenge. Have you heard that? Um, Now, I've been having a really hard time kicking my sugar this time. That since I fell off the wagon. Um, Hopefully, I'll be able to get back, and I'm hoping. And evidently, the sardine. There's different reasons why you would want to do something like that. It's full of omega 3s, and basically what it is it's just 3 days. You eat for 72 hours. You eat all you do is eat sardines, nothing else. It's like a sardine fast. Now, I know this, not very many people like sardines. Now, interestingly enough, my dad was just a weird duck. He was weird. And when my mom and him separated, and I was really, 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 really young, and I remember him opening up different cans of different things that he kind of liked. Vienna sausages was one of them. Ooh, isn't that one? You haven't heard that in a while. Vienna sausages. They were just little tiny sausages in a small half can. He loved those. And but sardines was another thing that he loved, and in mustard. Now, I haven't had sardines in a long time, but I know that they're jam packed with a lot of good omegas. They're good protein. Um, I know that's not the first thing that most Americans are going to grab for, but they're also supposed to. So they're basically supposed to help you infuse your body with omegas. So if you've got really bad inflammation like arthritis, fibromyalgia like myself, and my arthritis and stuff, it's supposed to really help kind of kickstart the healing on some of those things. But the other thing too is if you're trying to lose some weight, if you're on keto or if you're on any of these other things, it's also supposed to really help you if you're in a plateau of some sort. Anyway, I've kind of watched a couple of the videos and they're just funny. But this one lady who I ran across, she's 65, and I really was inspired by her. She's got a YouTube channel, and she's Keto Woman is her name, Keto Woman, and I don't know her first name, but she does a lot of videos around dinners, different kinds of things, But she did this. She did it twice. Because she hasn't been able to lose any more weight for over, I think, a year. But she's lost over 130 pounds. She looks great. But she's still trying to get to the weight that she wants to be. I mean, and I think mainly trying to get things off of her hips. Hey, 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 hey. No, 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 no. And so she did this. And she got great, great results. Not, in the well, I guess the fat. She's working out a lot more. She's doing resistance training, so she's gaining some muscle. But also in how her arthritis is. I think it's her knee that is bugging her, and I have a bad knee too. My knee is not quite sure what's going on with it. It kind of pops in and out. It's kind of gross. It's weird. Anyhow, and I don't know why I brought that up. Oh, because I was talking about my dog back here and his arthritis. I'm just wondering if that would help him, her, Sheila back here, I mean, they're just as much of a carnivore as we are, right? So, I don't know, that might be something. Maybe she and I could both throw back a few sardines. It's not like I could eat very many. I do think, though, I would. I remember eating them and it not being gross, but I don't know. I just think it's kind of funny. So there's this. Oh gosh, what else? But anyway, after this, I'm going to the vet. I finally am going to get myself to the vet so I can get the medication I need for my little girl, my little Bella. She's doing a lot better. For those of you who have reached out and asked about her, she's doing really well. She didn't have any kind of a coughing fit last night. She did not want to come upstairs to bed, so she stayed downstairs on her little bed. She didn't wake me up to go to the bathroom, though. She kind of ate this morning, not the greatest, but she basically is still doing her bone broth, so that's good. Um, I'm she she doesn't I don't think she's in any pain. I'm gonna put her back on. I mean, she's got some pain pills for her spine and her hips because she definitely has got some ickiness there from old age, and you know, I just don't want her to be in too much pain, and I don't think she is currently. But I don't know how happy she is either. She and I are cuddling a lot. I'll put her on my lap and we'll just kind of cuddle, and so we have some good times that way. But I have told the entire family, I says, hey, just letting you guys know that she's towards the end of her life, and if anybody wants to, come back into town or wants to talk to her, say goodbye, touch her, whatever, because this dog was around when my kids were younger. She's 18, for gosh sake. So I don't know. Sometimes it's out of sight, out of mind, and I don't really know whether or not the kids care, but I think it's going to be really, really tough on my daughter that's living with me and my son-in-law. I think it's going to rock their world. Be the first big major loss. I think, well, that they've all experienced together. So I don't know. And then I need to go get my medication from King Soopers. I've got to do that eventually. But I thought for right now we will just go to the vet, pick up what they have for us. We'll go to Starbucks, grab a coffee. What else should we do, Motley? Motley, do you want to talk to the people? What do you have to say? My daughter started going through seeds. She wanted to plant some sunflowers up. We've learned that because of all of the wildlife that we have in the backyard, we've got to be careful about where we seed. Things don't just come up very easy. So we try to put things up in the house. And she's got some things growing downstairs, and she loves sunflowers. So she started going through all my seeds, and I am late in putting my seeds up. This is the end of February, and usually by the first week of February, second week of February, I've already got my tomatoes up. So I got to get myself going. So at least she got my big box of seeds out, and so I think tonight I will start going through them. I don't think it rang yet. Maybe they're going. Oh, here comes the dog. Here.